Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Producer. The gentleman that is with me today is David Hill. David Hill is the owner of Today's Climb. Today's Climb, which is in Indian Harbor Beach in Florida. Hey, what's going on, David? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, sir. It's nice down here in sunny Florida. How's it going over there?
Yeah, we're supposed to get like this huge thunderstorms, and I kind of like the rain, but I just don't like driving it. And I have people on my roof right now because of I have leaks. So aren't you happy you asked me that?
Yes.
well, David, tell people they've heard you, on the podcast, but tell people who haven't heard your program before, beginners into your world, what you do and what Today's Climb is all about.
Today's Climb is just about the everyday struggles that we deal with, whether it's depression or an addiction or just anxiety, just summarizing the basic little things. It's always the little things that build up. You can tell someone, don't drink, don't do a drug, don't work a lot, but why do they do these things? And just with little goals that people can achieve just throughout the week, basic tasks, get out and do something, whether you want to exercise or stuff you can do from home 5 or 6 times a week. Next thing you know, look what I'm accomplishing. And then you're feeling good. And then when you feel good, look good, I think everything takes care of itself. And you don't really have to, address the deeper issues of why did this happen 20 years ago? Well, I know it happened. I put it in my body. Mm-hmm. I want to go forward in my life. And that's pretty much what Today's Climb does. We address the present issues.
Okay, I got you. And one thing that you're a huge proponent of is to get out there and to actually, even if it's taking a walk, that's a huge thing, because you do like these walk and talks. It's something that just sticks out in my head when the first time I talked to you. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I just want people in the community to get out. Just making that one little change once or twice a week. You can get out, and you never know the type of people you're going to meet. And then that starts a social engagement of just twice a week getting out for even just 10 minutes. What's listening to 2 or 3 songs of your own tunes? And then who knows where that takes you, but you're doing something, you're accomplishing something. And a lot of these people, they've never achieved anything. They don't have that. And then when you accomplish it and you feel good, look good, and you're positive minded, it just helps your self-esteem. And then you can start building on the other foundations of getting your life in order because you're feeling good. So you have confidence is essentially the big thing from people who are isolated or depressed. They just have to feel good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David, I heard 2 things to fight depression. One is to help other people, but the other one that I recently heard, I think it was you that was talking about it. It's these little accomplishments, even if it's like, I think I brought this up maybe the other day, but if it's doing 10 push-ups, something, so little goals along the way, taking a walk or something like that. Is that true that just doing something, completing something, does that help with depression and isolation?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that's what helped me, because you weren't achieving nothing. You were procrastinating. Like, yeah, I want to get out today. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow turned into the next day, then the next day. The next thing, everything's cluttered. And who wants to spend a day off, spending all day laundry, folding clothes, cleaning a house, doing the yard, going into the pool? Well, then it turned out I just did the yard work because it was an easy way for me to get a beer. And then next thing you know, I'm half drunk, but I thought I was being productive by doing outside work. And then next thing I look the next day, shit, I just went through 2 cases of beer, part of my language.
It's okay.
So you try to associate my procrastination was hidden with, well, I got outside today. Yeah, but did I?
Right.
I was partying.
Yeah. Well, David, we talked about in our last program, about your program and how important it is to set up goals. Can you kind of give us a recap of how far we got within getting a new client that comes in to work with you?
Yeah, touching back to what I just mentioned there, joking about getting out and doing the pool. If you set yourself goals and tasks, like kind of when we were kids, parents gave you a list of chores to do. Those were your tasks you needed to complete. But if we do that as adults and people, now you've got something to target through the week. And as you complete it, check it off. And those are also stuff that you yourself have written down that you're admitting, this is what is important right now in my life. I know what my underlying issues are. Let me get this done. And as you complete it, nobody's making it up. I'm not telling you. You're doing it. You told me it. You're completing it. I'm doing nothing. It's just the accountability comes in, but you've done the work. Look what you can accomplish when you put your mind to something.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're
okay.
good.
Well, I was just going to say, so a lot of your program is like you said, you're not doing it, but someone is, the client is accountable to you, because I guess you do the one-on-ones like we're doing, like right here. It would be during Zoom, or I know you have people down there that you help, but people all over can do this during Zoom, like a Zoom, just like this, right?
Yes, sir. Like we would have our consultation, and that's where you're reaching out, you're kind of figuring out what it's about. And then we would dive into it. And then when we set up, I do through DocuSign, I send out a liability form and waiver, just stating the specifics of what we've agreed upon. And then I send them out a goal sheet. What do you want to accomplish within a month? Where do you see yourself in 3 to 6 months? Just because they can put something down of what they want to work on, and they're writing it, they're admitting it to themselves. And then the next talk, our first initial meeting, when we book it, now we have something to go on. We're getting to work. We're diving in, but it's what you've told me. So essentially, I'm not putting words into your mouth. You wrote it down. Why did you? What is it about this that is so important to you? And now we're able to get somewhere. It's not just telling somebody, hey, put the bottle down. Hey, put the cigarette out of your mouth. What are the other? Could just be they want to lose weight, and maybe they just feel good about themselves and exercising. Positive mind. Little things can change how people feel, and you'd be surprised. And eventually they take care of themselves.
So a good candidate for you would be, say someone wants to lose 25 pounds and they want to stop smoking. Your goal sheet comes back and you write the end goal, but are you going to kind of help me along the way to get there when we have our talks? Are you encouragement, or are you going to say, hey, did you go out? Did you walk today? Or what did you do today to get to your goal? Talk to me about that, if you don't mind.
Well, we're going to come up with like a strategizing plan of what would work best. Like we'll dive in. Hey, what's your work schedule? And then you'll dive into, well, I get home at 5, I get ready for dinner, and then we eat at 7. Well, then someone like anyone with an open mind will go, so you have a 2-hour span in there. Why can't you just get home, just get out for 10 minutes? Why can't you get out just so can we? And I always say, can we try to just get you out for 15 minutes twice a week? You don't want to bombard people in their work lives, but sometimes getting someone out for 10, 15 minutes a day, twice a week, hey, that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Then when they do it and they accomplish it, now we can try to incorporate, maybe hold yourself up in a push-up position for 20 seconds. You can incorporate more things as they get going because they've shown they can do the work, and they're only going to put in what they want out of it.
Gotcha. So do you usually on your program, do you have like, is it per session, or is it a month, like once a week? How does that work?
I found that people right now are just doing a month at a time. They do a month, and that gets them four 1 hour sessions with me once a week. And then in that week, we also do a 20-minute check-in. So after our session, 3 or 4 days after that, there's a check-in, which will also be to set up the next meeting. How's everything going? Are you maintaining what you're doing? Any questions? Hey, are you advancing? Maybe we need to add in another goal to your list. Maybe you are ready, or maybe you're not maintaining, so we need to retweak that strategy you wanted to come up with. And I'm also that ear for people to vent. Maybe they had a crap couple days at work, or something's triggered it, and we need to talk a little more. I'm just there to be like a support for them.
Gotcha.
People need to let things out. The more that they keep bottled in, that's not good for anybody.
Hey, David, did you ever have anybody with unrealistic goals that talk to me about unrealistic goals. Like I'm not going to play for the NBA in a month, right?
Why not? No, I'm just kidding.
But if someone comes in and says something like that, and it's it's going to be a letdown. But I guess to work towards that is something. Can you talk about that? I mean, how unrealistic are some goals?
Well, you don't really want to shoot down anyone's dreams, but like it doesn't hurt to be practical. Like to tell somebody, hey, if they're 45 years old, we're all not Tom Brady. We're not just going to jump in the NFL and succeed right off the bat.
Yeah,
that doesn't just happen. But if it's a 19 or a 20-year-old, why can't they try to work for it? And if somebody wants to get into that shape, maybe we can, and they just need the reality check when they get to it. Hey, well, at least you're in good shape. Maybe along the way, your goal took you somewhere else.
Gotcha. And because nothing bad can happen from it when you're working towards something. I understand.
Right.
What you're saying. Yeah.
If you put yourself in shape to be a professional athlete, I'm sure your cardiologist is going to be happy. Your primary care doctor will be happy. Hell, even your wife or if you're a female, your husband will be, or however you identify.
Whatever, right?
They're all going to be happy. Everyone will be happy because you're a healthy individual.
Got it. Hey, Mr. Producer, we got some instant feedback over there.
Yeah, we have Carly in South Carolina says, how do we handle it when life events interrupt our pursuit of our goals? Should we adjust on the fly?
Good question. Yeah.
Well, it depends what it is, but that's why you set limiting goals. Like you don't want to work on 20 things at one time, because we know life does happen. But certain things we can control that we put on ourselves. So for instance, if I'm getting ready in the morning, obviously I need to do a quick shave, but am I just going to leave hair clippings in the sink and water all over a counter and save it for the next person when I clean the house in 2 days? You can wipe up a counter as you go. You can clean off a mirror. So we're not bombarded. That's just prioritizing. So some things we can prioritize as we go, take the extra 2 to 3 minutes to do simple things. Other things, you can't control a flat tire. You can't control, God forbid, I hope nobody gets in a car accident to and from work, or other accidental stuff, or a crap day, you fall at work. But if you have these building blocks where you're accomplishing things and you have the confidence, you'll learn to take on only what you can control. You'll have a backbone of, all right, well, this happened, but I'm seeing what I need to get done through the week. I know I can get this done tomorrow, because you've accomplished stuff in the past. I don't know if that answered it right off the bat. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
But that's something, if they need to reach out and talk to me more to, they can.
How do they get a hold of you?
They can call me 321-591-1818 or direct message from the website todaysclimb.com.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you for that question. What else we got there, buddy?
We have Jeff in New York wants to know, do bad habits often come up if we have too much downtime?
Good question. Another one.
Yes. You know,
we know about that, right?
Unfortunately, we do. You know, I mean, because that's just the isolation. I believe we touched into that. If anyone wants to go back and listen to that exchange that we had, I mean, you know, if I'm a heavy drinker and I've got time to kill and I know I've got 5 hours, I'm done for the day, and there's alcohol in the house, what do you think I'm going to do? Or if I'm a recovering addict and I'm rooming with 3 meth heads and I know they're shooting up or doing whatever they need to do, I'm going to go grab a spoon and start cooking. If you do certain things throughout the day to keep yourself occupied, you'll learn to cope with that downtime. You'll learn prioritizing, maybe clean a house a little bit for 20 minutes, find something to wipe down, do something to be active, take the kids to the park instead of getting in the car, push the stroller, walk them. That's your mean of transport. There's little things. Or if you got a bike, go on a bike ride, enjoy the fresh air. Little things like the running joke down here being in Florida is we live where people vacation. People come to Florida where I live to go to the beach. It's not just about going to Disney and everything. That's expensive. That's a topic for a different day, but we can go to the beach. There's natural parks that we can utilize, and we don't do that enough. I can ride my bike in 5 minutes, get to the beach and look at the sunrise. How many other people can say they can do that every day? Not very many people can.
Mm-hmm.
I can go and set my evening or morning to walk to the beach if I need to go see a rocket launch. I can go see manatees in the water. I can go see that. So there's, depending where you live, you can find activities to go enjoy the natural beauty of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. Great answer. I got time for another one. Yeah. Okay, cool. We got it. Let's go, Mr. Producer.
We have Daryl in Houston asks, when you're working with clients, do you find they are more likely to accomplish something if they decide to do it instead of someone constantly telling them?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't listen to anyone tell me, dude, stop drinking. Dude, you're overweight. No, shut up, man. I'm doing what I want. Like it just goes to, because, sir, I don't know if you can relate to that. You're an addict or anyone with an issue. They're only going to do they're going to stop when they want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at Ozzy Osbourne, for instance. I don't know if we're violating any laws here, but all these people that have had actions in their life, they're only going to change when they want to. Some people, it takes them 30 different times to go to these rehabs, but they're only going to change when they want to.
That's true.
Their actions will do it. They're going to hit that rock bottom or what if point. Sometimes they may find themselves in a 4x4 cell. I mean, it is what it is at that point, but no, somebody telling them, no, their actions, what they choose to do, that's when they're going to listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great question. And yeah, I agree with you 100%. Sounds like you've been around this for a while, David. You know what you're doing.
Well, I'm just trying to incorporate everything that I wish I could have had, and trying to give, you know, I know everything sounds cliche with people, but there's more than just a drug and alcohol addiction. There's more different levels of it. People have sex addictions, work addictions, time management is that's essentially where how addictions start. We feel so cramped with work that being able to do 6 shots of whiskey tastes real good, and I can knock them down in 20 minutes. I mean, that's essentially what it is. But what can I do to prioritize to not get to that? So essentially, time management and how to prioritize leads to people choosing different outlets.
Gotcha. Can we squeeze another one in? Okay, awesome. Let's do one more.
So we have Sally in Connecticut says, does everyone need to have an aha moment to make these changes, or can they just do it gradually?
Oh, great. Sarah? Yeah, Sarah?
Sally.
Sally. Great, great
Sally,
question, Sally. I wanna
yeah,
hear this one.
yeah, that's a great one. I had multiple. I think every time I drank and came off of a damn bender, it was like, I'm not gonna do that again. And then here I am, face down in a bed with food all over my face. And no, but I think it really kicks in when you're in a hospital bed and doctors are telling you, dude, this is where you're going to end up. And then I still didn't make the change. So I don't know. It still went on for 3 or 4 months. Like I mentioned, I just said, fine, I'll just do it on a Friday. But I don't really know if I can answer that because it's based on the individual, but ultimately what I can just advise people is sometimes you just have to tell people, is it worth ruining your life? Like coming from an experience, is it worth ruining your family, your career, and the struggle of trying to rebuild yourself, the relationships that you've hurt along the way? Like, I can't tell people enough. What have I ruined? What am I trying to repatch? Like there's things, sir, I don't know if you wish you could go back in time and go, man, I wish I wouldn't have gone.
100%.
I wish I wouldn't have taken the blue pill and just done, like.
Yeah. No, and it's that time that's wasted. You can't get back.
Right. And so we're doing this now to try to get to people of don't have that aha moment. Don't have the, yes, we are here today. Knock on wood. But that's a great question, Sally. I mean, that's one that varies on the individual, to be honest.
Yeah, that's well, thanks for everyone in their questions. David, let me just ask you, for people out there who may not know if they are ready to get the help, how much better does it feel now than when you were struggling, having those struggles, and now you get to help people and share your experience and bring someone else up? What do people have to look forward to once they work with you and get those goals met?
Well, it starts off, they just feel all cluttered in the mind. They're like, how does, obviously anyone's skeptical with whatever they do. But when they start seeing the results and they know that it's working and they are positive minded, it for me, it's like, wow, that's awesome. It's great. But then it's also kind of sad that there is still this much going on in our society, that there is people that go through it, and people are afraid to talk about their issues because it's still frowned upon to come out and say you've got an issue going on in your mind, whether it's in the workplace or how we're viewed amongst our peers, and I don't know, and then it's not good being alone, but it is very rewarding for me to be able to help people and give back.
Yeah. Awesome.
But if more people can just come out, be open, hey, tell your friends, listen, man, I really need you. Like in the last 6 months, I've got more friends that I saw on Facebook that I went to school with. Some have died they've OD'd on drugs, and I've got another 6 to 8 people that have come out. They've got a big drinking problem, and it's like, man, they can't imagine what they went through, and how many more are hidden with. Doesn't have to be a drug or alcohol, but they have an issue going on, but they're afraid because how they're going to be judged.
Right. Guys, David Hill, the owner of Today's Climb. David, I've always enjoyed our conversations, and great job today. But tell people how to get a hold of you one more time, and anything you want to leave us with.
Yeah, anyone can get a hold of me, 321-591-1818, and they can reach out to me on todaysclimb.com. I also there just added a media page, all these videos I do, and I've got some that I did on YouTube. They're up there. for people to see. I did some on how to set New Year's resolutions and just some other goal-based videos, how to keep up with that. But just big thing that I touch on before we close almost every show, just be open with yourself and start loving yourself, and you'll be able to accomplish so much. That's the first big start to change, because we can't answer the question of the little things because we'll be billionaires. But just start with that little process. Love yourself, be kind, and be open with yourself, and you'll start being able to receive help.
All right, great. Thank you so much, guys. That's David Hill. Go to today'sclimb.com. David, thank you very much, and I will talk to you soon. Guys, we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.